I've spent so much of my life feeling different from everyone else, and not in a way that feels meaningful or empowering. It's not the kind of different that makes you feel seen or celebrated. It's the kind that quietly isolates you, that makes you feel like you're always slightly out of sync with the world around you. Like everyone else was given a guidebook on how to connect, how to be valued, how to be belonged in somehow. You never received yours. No matter how hard you try, there's always this invisible gap between you and others that you don't know how to close. I notice it in small moments. In how conversations flow easily around me but rarely land on me. In how people remember others' birthdays, achievements, struggles but forget mine. I'm present, I'm listening, I'm engaged, yet I feel like a background character in other people's lives. I watch how effortlessly others are chosen, invited, prioritized, how people check on them just because. And I can't help but wonder what it is about me that makes people hesitate, that makes them decide consciously or unconsciously that I'm not worth the same effort. I try so hard to be someone worth caring about. I show up when things fall apart. I answer messages at inconvenient hours. I stay when others leave. I listen without interrupting, comfort without judging, support without expecting anything in return. I carry people's emotions gently, like they matter because to me, they do. But somehow, that care doesn't come back to me. It feels like the more I give, the more invisible I become. Like my kindness makes me easy to overlook, easy to assume I'll always be there, no matter how little I'm given in return. What hurts the most is realizing that people don't seem to care about me unless they need something. Silence surrounds me until there's a problem to solve, a crisis to talk through, a favor to ask. Then suddenly I exist. Suddenly I'm important. Suddenly my words matter. And for a brief moment, I feel seen. I feel needed. But once their need is fulfilled, that connection fades just as quickly as it appeared. The conversation's slow. The effort disappears. I'm left staring at my phone, replaying everything, wondering how I went from essential to irrelevant so fast. Being needed but not wanted creates a deep kind of loneliness. It teaches you that your value might be tied only to what you provide, not who you are. That if you stop giving, stop fixing, stop being available, you might disappear entirely. And that realization changes the way you see yourself. You start measuring your worth by usefulness. You feel guilty for needing anything. You convince yourself that asking for care is asking for too much. I've questioned myself endlessly because of this. I've picked apart my personality, my tone, my emotions. Am I too quiet, too emotional, too intense? Too understanding, not interesting enough, not confident enough. I compare myself to others and search for the thing they have that I don't, the thing that makes people stay for them, choose them, care about them without conditions. And the more I search, the more I start to believe that maybe there's something fundamentally lacking in me. Feeling different slowly turns into feeling invisible. You're there for everyone else's pain, but you hide your own because you've learned it won't be held the same way. You become the strong one, the listener, the dependable one. You don't complain, you don't ask. You don't expect much because expecting leads to disappointment. You tell yourself you're fine even when you're not, because it feels safer to carry everything alone than to risk being ignored again. Over time, this kind of loneliness becomes a constant companion. It follows you even in rooms full of people. It sits with you during celebrations, reminding you that no one is really celebrating you. It shows up late at night, when the noise fades and you're left alone with the truth that no one checked in that day, not because they were busy, but because you weren't a priority. And that realization hurts in a way that's hard to explain without sounding ungrateful or bitter. What makes it even harder is knowing that you don't want anything unreasonable. You're not asking for perfection or constant attention. You just want to matter without having to earn it. You want someone to care when you're not useful, when you're not strong, when you're not holding everything together. You want someone to ask how you're doing and actually wait for the answer. You want to be chosen not out of convenience, but out of genuine care. This experience changes the way you move through the world. You start to expect abandonment before it happens. You brace yourself for silence. You lower your expectations so you won't be crushed by them. You tell yourself not to hope, because hope has a way of making the disappointment sharper. And yet, despite everything, you still care. You still feel deeply. You still show up for others, even when no one shows up for you. Maybe that's what makes you feel different. Maybe you love in a way that doesn't fit into a world that's often transactional. Maybe you give in a world that takes. Maybe what makes you feel like less is actually the part of you that is most human. But it's hard to believe that when you're constantly reminded that people only seem to care when they need you. Still, somewhere deep inside, there's a quiet longing not to be needed, not to be used, but to be seen, chosen, and cared for, simply because you exist.